So, yeah, welcome to everybody checking into this live stream. Today we are going to talk about the very first and most fundamental step that you need to take when it comes to actually improving your sleep quality. So it doesn't matter if you are suffering from bad sleep, if you're suffering from insomnia, if that's going on for months or even years. There's one very important step, a very fundamental step, and strange enough, most people that are looking to improve their sleep it didn't work on this yet. So today we're going to talk about your sleep goal. Sleep goal is a very, very, very important aspect of your sleep. And that's also why it's like step number one from the sleep map. I'm going to tackle that a little bit more down the road. But what we're going to dive in here today is how sleep goal looks like, why you need it. And yeah, let's just dive into the topic right away. So let me just share a slide with you. When we're talking about sleep goals, like you can imagine a sleep goal to be something like setting up the navigation system of your car. I think we all agree that if you want to go to Denver, like let's say you're in San Francisco, you want to go to Denver or whatever city else, that you would not have in mind that you sit in your car, turn on your navigation system and tell it like, just navigate me to a big city, a big, beautiful city, whatever it is. You would specifically program your navigation system to Denver, right? The thing is, when we're talking about our sleep, most people, most of us believe it's enough to say, I want to sleep again, want to sleep good again. So, but that's simply not enough because it is super unclear what that means. Good sleep for me could look completely different than it is for you. And if we're trying to work and align our unconscious mind, our conscious mind, and every single thought and cell in our body towards one goal, it's very important to know how specifically that goal looks like. And there are two aspects to this. Actually, one aspect is that we want to have a very specific, very clear location, destination where we're moving towards, right? So we want to paint that out colorful. That's one aspect. But the second aspect, at least as important, we want to be able to measure our progress. So let me know if that makes sense for you in the comments. Does it make sense for you that you want to be able to measure your progress, that you want to be able to see if something that you do for your sleep works or not? If things that you believe should be good for your sleep actually are good for your sleep? Do you think that makes sense? Because if it makes sense for you, my next question would be, how do you measure this, right? Because most people that I have a chat with and that, reach out to get some support to sleep better actually don't do this. So when we're talking about measurement, I'm talking about a number here. It's a key performance indicator for our sleep. And what I mean with this, it's not too mathematical as it might sound right now, is that we want to have a number that we can track every single day. And the number that we're talking about is our sleep quality. So if I'm going to share my slide deck here for a second again. If you want to set up a sleep quality, the next question that you probably have is, how do I do this, right? Michael, I would love to measure my sleep quality, but sleep quality measurement is not crappy or even crappier and good, but we want to break it down to a number that we can kind of track. So I want to invite you, we're going to set up this number together here in this session right now because it's only going to take us a minute or two. I want to invite you to imagine a scale, a sleep quality scale, ranging from 1, the lowest sleep quality that you have ever imagined to have, to 10, the highest sleep quality ever. 1 lowest, 10 highest. Where in that scale do you range if you have a look at your sleep, kind of objectively, in the past 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks? Maybe close your eyes, think about that scale, and just pretend as if it's not an exact science here. It's exact because it's your scale, but it's not that you can do anything right or wrong. Just ask your gut feeling, go with your gut feeling, and the first number that pops up to your mind, just go with that. That's fine. So on a scale from 1 to 10, you plot down that number for your sleep quality that you experienced in the past 2 to 4 weeks. So this is the very first step. The very first step is to position yourself, and that's what we just did, right? So now you know, let's say you're having severe problems with your sleep, you're a 3 right now. Might be a 5 or a 2 for you. You've got your number. Now that you positioned yourself, the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to create our destination, right? Our sleep goal, our KPI, key performance indicator for our sleep. So on a scale from that same scale from 1 to 10, where would you like to be? Like what would be, how would you know that you reached your goal? How high would that number be? Like let's say you're a 4 right now, maybe you want to be a 7 or an 8. I could, by the way, I could imagine that we all want to say like, I want to be a 10, right? But this is an average number. So even the best sleepers would probably not claim to be a 10 every single day, or at least most of the best sleepers I know would not. So pick something that is realistic, pick something that is achievable for you, and just go with that number, okay? So where are you? Drop it into the comments if you want to. So now you've got your number, you've positioned yourself where you are right now, your location, right? Now you set your destination, and now we've got something to work with, right? So that's the measurement aspect. Step number 2, we're going to talk about that in more depth in the next live, is to actually measure things, to stay accountable to yourself. But that's not the topic for today. Today we're doing fundamental, foundational groundwork. So you know where you are, you know where you want to be. But that's only one part of the sleep aspect, right? The second part is that we want to get away from that numberish kind of thinking and move into something that gives our brains a clear vision of where we want to move to. And what I mean with that is that you want to create a sleep goal and actually write that down. You want to create a sleep goal that is colorful as the little picture of San Diego that you can see here, right? So how could that look for you? And to create a colorful picture like that for your sleep, I suggest that you take a sheet of paper and a pen and start writing down how your good sleep will look like. And not only related to your sleep, but what will change in your life. What we want to do here is to paint a clear picture that your brains, your unconscious brains, your heart, your soul can work with, right? So what that could look like would be something like, I'm so thankful that my sleep is now good. Okay, that's a good start, right? You're so thankful for a lot of power and gratitude, because it kind of tells ourselves that we have already achieved that goal. Like being thankful for something typically happens after we've experienced it. So it's a little trick to start off with, I am so thankful that my sleep is now good. And now start to color this picture out with specific things that are true when it comes to the destination of your sleep. So what does that mean for you? And now fall asleep easily and fast. I slip asleep. Even if I wake up at night, I fall asleep quickly and with ease. How does it look? Like I get up at the same time every morning and feel refreshed and energized and motivated to start the day. When I end my days, like this is how it looks, this is how it feels. You want to color it. Pretend you're an artist and you're taking like, you're putting that palette of colors in front of yourself, and you've got that, big sheet of whatever it is you're starting to paint on. And then you're starting to paint that picture of your sleep. And these two things, like painting your sleep goal, how will it look? How specifically will it look, with a lot of colors in there, giving our brains, our minds, our souls something to work with, that guiding star, right? And having your sleep number, that rational part that we can take to measure in step 2, are a solid groundwork that you need to do. Like if you're working on your sleep for the last weeks and months, maybe even years, and you haven't achieved at least consistent success with your sleep, this is the point where you want to start. So by the way, if you haven't already, What I've talked about here today is the very first step of a 9-step system, which is called the sleep map. I put that together in the last decade and structured everything you need to return back to superb sleep and put it into a coherent sequence so that anybody can literally take the sleep map and apply it to their lives and return back to superb sleep. And today we went through the sleep goal, which is the very first step. And if you haven't got the sleep map yet, download it. I'm sharing this for free with you. Like, it's the same system I use with my clients, and you can download it for free. I'm going to drop the link in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to share this with you. So if you haven't got it already, check it out, download it. It comes along with a little video where I'm going to walk you through all of the 9 steps so that you get a very, very good feeling for what you need to tackle. Because mostly it's not that you haven't done anything, you've done a lot and you want to reuse the things that you've done in the past, but you want to put them into sequence and find the black holes where you need to shed some light on. And that's what the sleep map is, a powerful, the best tool that I know out there. And as said, I'm sharing it with you for free. The only thing you need to do is to check it out and to download it. And yeah. Other than that, always feel free to comment underneath the video if you have a specific question. If you want to share your sleep goal with me, feel free to do so. I'm going to give you feedback on that, or I'm happy to do so at least. And yeah, see you in the next video where we're going to talk about measurement, the second step of this 9-step system that will help you to find back to superb sleep. Until then, bye and have a superb sleep.